Now, point of order, we'll do the news round very shortly with Mick and Richie in due course, but first an announcement to make here on Off the Ball. There is, from tomorrow, significant change in how you listen to Off the Ball, in particular how you listen to us on demand. To that end, it is not 7:30 in the morning, but Ger Gilroy is here in studio. I was about to say very welcome, but I mean...
Hey Joe, how are you?
It's very much your patch as well. So anyone on social media may have seen the announcement already, and I suppose both of us, the team at large, feel in no way comfortable just putting out an announcement and not chatting it through with people. There is an intimacy in what we do here. In short, listening to Off the Ball on demand, so our podcasts, our YouTube videos, etc., that is moving to a subscription-based model.
Yeah.
That is the announcement.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I'm going to open the kimono a bit here. We were in two minds about whether or not we should have this conversation, because ultimately this isn't that big a deal in terms of how the media works, but we do feel like we really need our audience, and we love our audience, and they've been a part of our broadcast track record for 20 odd years here in this show. So I feel like we owe it to them a little bit to bring them along with us and explain a bit about the process that happened here. Look, the broader context of this is the way of the world is moving towards subscription. I think I&M went subscription in 2018. Over the last 12 months, you've had the Examiner and the 42 go subscription. And really during COVID, what happened, so we make our money in a couple of significant ways. Everybody knows we don't get any funding from the government, and we don't seek any, but we do take advertising. Our sponsors stayed with us during COVID, but we make money as well from a thing called solutions, and this may be too much detail for people, but during COVID that stopped. We weren't doing road shows, we weren't going out and making videos, we weren't making short podcast series. And so we realised at that stage, if we wanted to continue to invest in content, if we wanted to continue to find the next Tommy Walsh or the next Joe Molloy, that we were going to need new sources of revenue. And we started Golf Weekly, and the response from the Golf Weekly listenership was incredible. So then a year later, we surveyed our audience. Last August, we put a survey into the field, and over 1,000 Off the Ball podcast listeners came back to us and gave us a really clear indication that they would be willing to pay for content, and that we could have a deep, very deep relationship with these people, that they were listening 3, 4, 5 times a week, and that they respected the work that we put in to a point where they would value it if we were to ask them to pay for it. Like, everybody charges for content now, apart from the government funded models, everything from, as I've already talked about, the most recent examples, but I think maybe The Guardian are the last holdouts against this. So yeah, and I understand there'll be a grieving process for some people, but we're not going away.
No, so just even to give the brass tacks of the thing, the cost is $9.99 per month. And for that, it's all our on-demand content. So give or take, on an average week, 60 podcasts a week, all the YouTube videos, those post-match interviews, you name it, everything on demand, listen as you please. We should say, if you're like, how does that work on the radio show is still...
You'll still be here. 7 days a week.
You don't have to put coins into the meter. The radio show is here 7 days a week. And what's more, OTB AM is very much live and free on all our platforms in the morning, as usual, from 7:30, Monday to Friday. You won't be able to listen... If you're like me, you get up at a more reasonable hour. You won't be able
to listen exclusively.
Yeah, you won't be able to listen back on demand, but it's there free, like a radio show.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so that is the free offering, and then $9.99 is everything.
Yeah, exactly. And like over the last while, we've added a suite of podcasts, Rugby Daily, Football Daily. They're all still going to be free. They're short form podcasts. Right. So it's our long form stuff. Any of the interviews that we do, any of the features that we do. Like, again, probably a bit too much information, but frequently our interviews will run a bit long. We can't shut ourselves up. We ask questions that are supposed to be, and the full thing can never fit on the radio anyway. So we've been putting those on podcasts, but they'll be exclusively available to our subscribers from now on. When we announce roadshows and events, they're going to be exclusively for our subscribers first. That's the first place that you'll be able to get tickets, and if they don't sell out, then they'll go on general release after that. So look, there's loads of benefits, but again, to be sustainable into the future, to give ourselves some independence when it comes to creating new strands of programming, particularly around some niche audiences that might not have corporate support. I should take a moment to say that, like, we've done brilliant work with our sponsors. We wouldn't have had Roy Keane and Gary Neville without the support of Cadbury. We wouldn't have sold out Croke Park without the support of AIB. We wouldn't have sold out the crowd that we did at the Bord Gáis Energy for the hurling final without the support of Bord Gáis Energy. So we'll continue to work with corporate partners. It's a hugely important part of our business, again, because we don't get government funding, but we do need help from our audience if we want to continue to develop new strands of programming. And look, this is a very straightforward thing. I hope it doesn't feel like I'm explaining too much.
No, because I pull back the curtain a touch. I would, at a slight concern, do you need to be here and explain this in terms where it's a touch apologetic? I think most people understand it's a very straightforward situation, but equally we do appreciate it's quite an intimate relationship we have, and so
we trust them.
Yeah, there's a degree of over explaining. It's coming in. It's out of good faith.
People stop you in the street and they say, "We love your show."
Do they?
They always think I'm you. Well, I should say that there's a couple of special offers. If you use the Off the Ball app, you get your first month free. If you're using Apple, you get a week free. If you sign up for the year, it's $99.99, which works out at £8 a month, which is £2 a week for 60 podcasts. It's good value. Yeah. It's like we're definitely not apologetic about that. The value is banging. So,
okay, very good. Well, that is the situation from tomorrow. I know we're springing this on you a touch. If people want to sign up, where do they go?
You go to offtheball.com/join.
Okay. Very good. We'll talk again when we talk again. Ger Gilroy back tomorrow, OTB AM 7:30 as usual.